Welcome boys and girls of YouTube, my name is Sloth and this is the SlothForge, and in today's video I want to show you not one but two teams for the Grave of Venom, and both of these teams are very free-to-play friendly and able to farm you legendary gear and even red gear if you are lucky enough. So stay tuned for the upcoming two teams. But before showing you these two teams, I wanted to thank you for the extremely positive feedback that the last two videos received. Actually, I did not expect to get so much positive feedback, and I'm very grateful for all this positive feedback. And since these guides seem to actually help you out there, I'm trying to create two guides a day for the next couple of weeks, or at least for the next 1 or 2 weeks, because there is so much content in the early weeks of every single season that there is also so much potential for guides out there. And this is why I'm trying to focus on 2 guides a day. So if you do not want to miss out on any of these guides, feel free to leave a subscribe. Yeah, but now let's dive into it. And before we dive into the teams, I want to mention one more thing. In my opinion, the Grave of Venom is the hardest dungeon out there, out of these 4. Not because it is so complicated, but because the Harpy is very tanky, while also dealing extremely amounts of damage. And yeah, because of this, there are actually only 2 teams that are able to farm Grave of Venom 17 up to stage 20. And it is either teams that are using Philosia or teams that are extremely high awakened. So let's have a look. This team, Philosia and extremely high awakened. This team, extremely high awakened. This team, Philosia, high awakened, Philosia, 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 extremely high awakened. Or let's have a look at stage 20. Yeah, Philosia, 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 and also extremely high awakened. Philosia, extremely high awakened, Philosia, and another extremely high awakened team. So this is why I think that this is the hardest dungeon out there. So the teams that I'm going to show you are more focused on farming stage 15 and 16, but as long as you are farming stage 15 and above, it's absolutely fine, because here you have the chance for legendary gear while also obtaining the legendary materials, and you also have a small chance of getting red gear, which is very useful. Alright, so now let's dive into it. Let me show you the 2 teams. The first team that I want to show you, actually not this one, but it's this one. Yeah, let me show you this one first, because it is, in my opinion, it's a little bit better. And the first thing that you saw is probably, oh, you are using a legendary hero. Yes, I am, but this is absolutely not needed. This is a very flexible spot. You can use any AoE damage dealer for this spot of Premza. I just use her because because she's just dealing very good damage, but there are many different options, like dozens of different options. And probably most players out there have at least one legendary hero that is able to deal a little bit of AoE damage. For example, you could even use Nasty J. Lelvanes is way better than Premza. Or Gulende is also very good for this place. Actually, since he also provides the debuff, attack penalty debuff, he's maybe even better than Premza. But there is more. You could also use Oyster, for example, and so on. There are many I think you could even use the Divine Ascetic. But yeah, that's it. You have many different options. You could also use some epic heroes. But I will show you a team with no legendary damage dealer. First, I want to show you this team. In case you have any strong AoE damage dealer, this is the perfect team for you. So let me show you the strategy, or the idea of this team. First, we are using Garius. He is an epic and therefore relatively easy to come by. Every single player will have Garius sooner or later, because even out of purple dice, you have a relatively good chance to get Garius. I think actually there was a path or something, some event in the first week. I'm not entirely sure where everyone got a Garius, but I'm not 100% sure about this. Now, for his artifacts, there are many different artifacts. I think the very best artifact for him actually is the Gatekeeper's Staff, because Garius heals for very big amounts, and sometimes these amounts get wasted because everyone is already full life, and then they do not get wasted, but instead they get consumed into a shield, which is just perfectly for Garius. So yeah, in my opinion, the best in-slot artifact for Garius is the Staff. But apart from this, you just use him, build him like this. I think the best set for him is the Blue Oak set, because it provides skill haste, some defense, and also a little bit of recovery over time, only once every 60 seconds, so it is not needed again, but it makes this all a little bit more reliable, especially if you want to farm stage 16. For stage 15, this is absolutely not needed, it just makes the run a bit smoother. And I'm actually using an HP gloves, because I do not have a Blue Oak defense glove, but if you have a defense glove, it would make this run even more reliable. Yeah, same for this positive rune, it's also very bad, to be honest. It has defense, but the substats are all very useless. And then there is this helmet, the Teardrop helmet. Of course, this is not easy to come by. It is also not needed. It is absolutely not needed. This effect only triggers once every 120 seconds, so it actually triggers only once for this battle, if it triggers. So normally it does not even trigger. Normally you do not need this. I'm just using it because it makes it a bit smoother. It just makes it a bit more convenient for me. Now the idea is that Garius is an insanely strong tank, and the longer the fight goes, the tankier he gets, and the more he heals. So he's just perfect for this role of tanking. Now we use Tauren, because Tauren, he's a very strong healer, and everyone should have gotten Tauren at the second day of playing, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this is the core. Now we have Premza, but like I said, you can use any other damage dealer that is dealing AoE damage. It is absolutely fine. And then we have these two. These two are the second core of this team. First, Warish. Warish was also part of the first week's path, so everyone should have Warish as well, and he's very strong. I really like my Warish. He has a small heal, which is useful, but it is not the reason why we are using him. It's actually his ultimate skill. It is a multi-hitting AoE, full AoE ultimate that provides buff prohibition, and is therefore he's the perfect hero for The Witch Remains, because it is an AoE multi-hitting ultimate. So he applies the defense down on every single enemy without any problems. So in about 99% of the cases, he provides, or he places the defense down on every single enemy, and we want to have a debuff on every single enemy. Ideally, a defense down debuff on every single enemy, if we are using Sigrid. And I already showed her in my Goblin showcase. She's only a rare hero, and she is insanely strong in my opinion. She more identifies as a legendary hero, to be honest, because her ultimate is very strong. It's dealing very good amounts of damage, and it hits every single enemy and also places an attack penalty. But it is only hitting every single enemy if every single enemy has the debuff. And this is the exact reason why we are using Warish. Now let me show you this team. And out of convenience, or to make it a bit more reliable, I am using a buff food. Sadly, I do not have weaker buff food, because if I would have rare buff food, I would use a rare buff food. But for now, I have to use this epic buff food. I don't care for the accuracy, I just want some HP to make Garius survive a bit better. Now, one more thing, sorry, forgot to mention, is Sigrid actually wants accuracy. If you are somehow able, use her with accuracy, because you really want this attack penalty to be placed. If you are not able to acquire enough accuracy on Sigrid, it's absolutely fine. Then you should just run stage 15, but for stage 16 it is highly recommended to reach the 240 accuracy, just so you are placing her her attack down like nearly always. And we are using the defense up aura from Garius himself just to make it even more reliable. Now let me show you the first the first minute of the run, just to show you that it is reliable, because the longer the fight goes, the stronger Garius heals get and the tankier Garius gets. So if he survives the first minute, he will probably survive the whole run. But of course, there is a lot of RNG involved. He can just get unlucky and get crit from every single wisp and the harpy, and then he dies. It is what it is. It is no problem at all, because you do not lose any stamina. You just try it again. And yeah, that's it. That's the whole team. Like you can see, he's surviving very easily. Yes, Premza is dealing a lot of damage. But like I said, there are other very good options as well. Actually, the second team that I'm going to show you right now is using two epics that are dealing way more DPS than Premza. Now, remember this? It's like 17 to 18,000 DPS. And like you can see, 1 minute into the run, and we have, yeah, 1/3 of the RP's HP is already gone. So this is absolutely reliable. That they are fast enough to kill the harpy, and the Garius, the tank, is absolutely able to survive this. Well, this is team number 1. This should help most players out there. But if you are, for some reason, do not own a single legendary hero that is dealing good AoE damage, there's absolutely no problem, because here is the second team. This is a relatively different team. Except for the core of Garius and Tauren. We are using them again. And actually this time, yeah, I actually have the Gatekeeper stuff on Garius, just to show you how strong he gets when he has the stuff. But you do not need to use the stuff. You can absolutely use the Scarab as well. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is that in the Grave of Venom, you want Sigrid to use her ultimate straight after Varish. Or did I mention it? I'm not entirely sure. Sorry guys, but let me show you this real quick. You want Sigrid to use her ultimate right after Varish. The problem with Sigrid is, Sigrid has this extremely strong passive that grants her ultimate energy every time an enemy with a debuff dies. So the problem is that since all these wisps keep on dying over and over again, she recycles her ultimate real quick. And you can use this to deal way more damage, but it makes the run a little bit more unreliable if you are not placing the attack down on every single enemy. This is the reason why I am timing Sigrid right after Varish. So he is using his ultimate after 12 seconds, while she is using her ultimate after 12.2 seconds, and then they are just in sync with 20 seconds. So she's always using her ultimate right after Varish and always hitting everyone with her ultimate. Now the second team. The second team, there is one very important part. We are using Garius, and this time it is very important that Garius has the highest HP out of everyone in this team, because of Estelle. Estelle has a very nice passive. She can also mark an ally, just like Tauren does, and heal this ally. Or no, she does not heal him. She places defense up on them, which is very strong and helps Garius surviving this. It makes it much more convenient for Garius to survive. It just makes his life so much easier. This is why you really want Garius to have the highest HP. Because I say this because actually often it is Tauren who has the highest HP, just because he has a little bit more base HP. Oh, actually, he has not more base HP. Alright, it was just, when I built this team, I was wondering why she's not placing her mark on Garius. So maybe this is a problem. You have to really focus on Garius having the highest HP, while also having very high amounts of defense. And yeah, that's it. Now, I am using Rava and Vidimir just for damage. They are just dealing damage, and Rava is our Witch's Remains holder, so Rava also needs accuracy, but that's it. Yeah, this is the team. Oh, and I am also using this artifact on Estelle. I have way better artifacts than this. I'm just using this artifact to show you that it is also possible. Yes, I wasted some resources because I probably will never use this artifact since I have nearly all mythical artifacts. But well, for this video I did it and I absolutely do not regret it. I really hope that it is helping you out there. Let me show you once again the first minute of the run, because it is, like I said, it's a little bit less reliable than the other team because we are missing the attack down. But it is still at least a 50% chance win rate. I would say it's actually more of an 70%, 80% win rate with this team. And once again, it is absolutely no problem if your run fails once or twice, because you just run it over and over again. Now, you just saw that Garius healed, and you see that there is a very big shield on Rava, or actually on everyone right now, because this overhealing shield is insane. It is so strong on Garius. I really like it, and it is definitely the best and slot item for Garius. Now, yeah, like you can see, actually, here are the damage numbers. Vidimir is dealing more damage. He's nearly at 22,000, while Premza only was at 17 to 18,000. And this DPS goes way up. Let's have a look. Let's after the second ultimate usage. And there we go. 28,000, 25,000. So his DPS is way better than Premza's DPS. And yeah, that's it. This is the second team, which is even more free-to-play friendly, if you ask me. And yeah, use some buff food because it makes it a little bit more reliable. And well, that's it. Less than 17 minutes, at least. I'm sorry guys, I tried to be a little bit faster, but showcasing two teams and also, yeah, explaining the strategy is not that easy to do as fast as possible. So I hope it took not too long. I'm trying to do some timestamps to make it a bit more convenient for you. And well, that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a like, leave a subscribe if you do not want to miss out any other videos. And well, see you in the next one.